Hello, I'm Kim Butler, and today's money myth is that the stock market is the best place to invest long term. If you talk to most people out there, it's the only investment that they know about. The stock market is talked about on every news show, in every financial magazine, in every water cooler discussion, and dinner table talk time. The stock market is what people equate to the word investments or investing. And yet there are a host of issues surrounding it. Now, we're recording this here in 2016. I will readily admit that 100 years ago, the stock market may have been one of the best places to invest long term. But that was a different era. It was long before we had computer trading. It was long before we had instant information. It was before we had so many varieties of, quote, stock market-based investments. 100 years ago, you bought into a company and you held that company for a long period of time. That company grew and you got value from that. Now, there's more mutual funds than there are companies. And of course, the various slices and dices and types of mutual funds and various terms that get applied to that arena are literally unlimited. So we have a situation where in today's world, the stock market is actually a very risky thing for anybody that is just a lay person to invest. And I'm not saying that you couldn't get some good results, but when you view it as the only investment, you are limiting the opportunities that you have with your money. And we've been really blindsided by some pretty extreme fluctuations in the stock market. And worse yet, we've been counseled to take those in stride. All of a sudden, it's supposed to be normal to lose half of the value of your investment and then hope that it grows back again. That doesn't strike me as okay. All of a sudden, it's become normal to have a roller coaster ride with your investment. And that also does not strike me as okay. So we need to expand the definition of investments. We need to be willing to look at real estate. Now, oftentimes when I bring up real estate, somebody will bring up a real estate investment trust. That's right back into the stock market. Or I'll bring up an alternative investment, and they'll want to bring up alternative mutual funds that are invested, say, in all socially acceptable companies. But that's right back in the stock market as well. So what I'm encouraging you to look at are true alternatives where the investment is not involved in the stock market at all. And there's a variety of different asset classes that you could be looking at to expand out this definition of investing or investments. You could look at senior life settlements. You could look at investment real estate. You could look at bridge loans or investing in what's called mezzanine financing or short-term commercial mortgages. You could look at an oil and gas deal. You could look at actually investing in a company. You could look at lending money. We often don't think of lending money as an investment, but you could absolutely lend money and have somebody pay you back, and that could be an investment. Now, there is a term that often gets thrown about that relates to the alternative idea, and this is non-correlated, which essentially just means not connected to the movements of the stock market. And a lot of the alternative investments that are truly alternative are not correlated. So as you're continuing to learn, seek alternatives that are not affected by the roller coaster ride of the stock market. Seek alternatives that are not affected by who's in the presidency. Seek alternatives that are not affected by what the economic winds in the US are doing, or furthermore in our worldwide economy, that are also not correlated to the movements of the stock market. So again, the money myth is that the stock market is the best investment long term, and I'm just encouraging you to broaden your definition of investment. So if you would like some more information, go to partnersforprosperity.com.